Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel for another tarot pick a card reading. In today's reading we are diving into what is being said behind your back. So we are going to dive into who is saying things, why they're saying things, and really what's the main kind of drama in what is being said behind your back. Or alternatively, if there's no drama at all, we can kind of see what kind of praise you're getting and just literally anything in general that comes up that is being said about you behind your back. So that being said, make sure you get yourself into a receptive mode so you pick the right pile. We have our group 1, group 2, and group 3. If you need to know how to pick your card using your intuition, check out my link, the link below to my video, as always, on how to pick a card using your intuition. Otherwise, I will see you guys at your timestamps below. Hey group 1, let's get started with your tarot pick a card reading today, all about what is being said behind your back. So as always, we're starting off with our oracle cards to give us a frame of reference, and then we'll dive deeper into it. Don't mind my little bumblebee band-aid. I sliced the crap out of my finger today at work. Alrighty, so we have Exorcist. Freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. Fear of facing your own demons is the archetype that you're being seen in. We also have Pluto. And then we have air sign. So each of these have kind of an intention behind them. First and foremost, with you coming out as the Exorcist, as your archetype, this is people seeing you as someone that is kind of no bullshit right now and is really sternly ready to cut people off. Ready to, like it says here, free yourself from any kind of destructive outlets that you have. And I don't know, you might find yourself like really being cutthroat right now with people and just feeling like you don't have time for it anymore. And I say that too with Pluto here. Pluto being like what is happening and like what is being talked about, it's only further emphasizing this Exorcist energy of really rebirthing yourself through destruction and through cutting people off and being cold and learning how to be cold in certain scenarios, because that gives you some sort of inner strength. You know, I feel like you're being talked about as someone who is really in that energy of like they are not playing around anymore, like whether something was said, because like the Y energy is this right here, this air sign energy. So like something clearly was said that was very destructive and very like, this is the end. Now, whether that's someone saying something to you or not, like I feel like you, whether you said it or they said it to you, something in you snapped and changed and was like, I am no longer dealing with this. I don't have to. And I think that is a big thing that's being talked about right now. More so, though, I feel like people might not, because with Pluto energy, people don't understand the transformation and change. A lot of the time, they're like, oh, they think they're better than me now. Like, they think that they're this, that, and the other thing. Like, they might be spiteful towards you behind your back and saying things like, I don't know, but there is this understanding, I guess, with Exorcist coming out that, like, you are trying to, like, take responsibility for yourself and take responsibility for things. However, I will say that these people might not think that you have taken responsibility for these things, even though you cutting yourself off from these people and things is you taking responsibility. You know, it's kind of like from a shallower point of view, I want to say, that these people might be speaking on you and speaking on like your decision to cut ties with certain people and things. We have the Star coming out, which is very interesting to me because that is a renewal energy as well, but in an Aquarius energy rather than your Scorpio Pluto kind of vibe. So like this is very much releasing expectations that maybe people had put on you. You know, like if you were hanging out with certain groups of people that were a certain way, like there's something about you being able to be like, hi, it's nice to see you, but I don't want to hang out. Like I don't want to go to the bars with you. I don't want to go X, Y, and Z with like, I don't want to participate. And I think you're doing so in a very free-minded space where you're like understanding like you are not indebted to these people. You're not indebted to whatever it is that you might instinctively or impulsively want to do with your time. And again, that's why the destructive impulses comes out here. Funny enough, we also have the Ace of Wands, which is that destructive impulse, if I've ever seen it, in the context of this reading, I will say. It is that Ace of Wands is that kind of impulsive energy. However, it is a new start, and coming after the Star, it's insinuating that you are trying to renew yourself in these vulnerabilities, and like you are aware of your shadow side, so you're really trying to make a different move. I think other people are seeing you as being someone that they feel like they know really well, and like I want to say like people feel like they can read you like a book, but like you're going through transformation, so is the book that they're reading even the accurate edition? You know, like that's kind of where I'm at with it. And I feel like these people want to make commentary about what you're doing with your time, but they don't have all the information. And yes, we have the Page of Swords coming out. Page of Swords is learning information. It's observing for information. So I feel like these people are speaking on what they're observing about this new version of you. This one that, like I said, like these people know things about you that maybe aren't so great, your darker tendencies and whatnot. So it feels like, you know, that they could be making commentary about, like I said, the new route that you're going with yourself, and making judgments on that based off of what they know about your dark side. And it's you know, it's interesting because it's almost like they're trying to doubt you, but I feel like their curiosity shows that you're making some forward movement. So it's like kind of not, I don't know, they don't see it that way, so it's not even worth really saying, but like they don't see how they're not seeing you, I guess. We have the Page of Cups as well. Yeah, you're starting new endeavors. Like you have moved on, I want to say. I was going to say new things, but I said moved on. So like you must have moved on from these people that are speaking on you and seeing you as being someone that is trying to move forward with their life. We have the Six of Cups. So like I said, I still feel like you're friendly with some of these people. Like you don't have problems like giving that Page of Cups energy of like, hi, it's nice to see you. Like, oh, it's like lightness emotionally, lightness in words. Like there's something about you that people are realizing, like, you know, they did cut us off, but they're not like being rude to us. Like they're not like cutting us off like hard, only in like, you know, maybe participation. I feel like you're not participating in as much things as you used to participate in, and like they could have some questions about who you're hanging out with and who you're choosing to spend your time with and that sort of thing. Like there is confusion, I would say, surrounding that is stirring up quite a bit of conversation. And it's not necessarily negative all the way. There might be some snide remarks here and there that are just kind of like, they catch you off guard, because it's like, I don't know, like I said, there could have been like sharp words exchanged, but maybe it wasn't expected that would be a fallout. And I think these people that are speaking on you are confused as well, because it's not a fallout. Like I said, you're friendly to them, but like there is a clear, cold cut boundary of like, no, I will not accept your offer. No, I will not take your plan. Like I have other options and I have other things that I feel better about doing, is kind of the message that you are putting off to these people. So therefore that's what their commentary is about. It's about like, well, they think they're better than us. Or alternatively, like, yeah, did you see they're hanging out with so-and-so now? Or they're doing this now? Like upkeep. They want to, you know, stay up to date with what you have going on. Let's get some more omens here. We have fair woman, dealings with relationships with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. So this could be you, or this could be confirming a person that you're inquiring about, or somebody that is giving 2 cents. We have dagger, fears, worries, tense situation. That also makes me think of like stabbing someone in the back. Yeah, we have scissors as well, disappointment, some affair. And then we have success. Okay, so this very specifically could be someone who, like it says fair woman here, and it doesn't have to necessarily be someone that fits these physical characteristics, but in the sense of like, literally, I would say like fair woman, that for some reason is striking to me. So maybe this person was unfair to you, despite their hair color or whatever. Like maybe this person was unfair to you in a very like spiteful, kind of backstabbing way, and like you have learned to move on from that and move forward from that, and that's where the success is coming. But like there's disappointments that you're able to move on. Karma, you will reap what you sow. So maybe this person is struggling with a lot of disappointments in their life as well, so that's why it's like easy for them to doubt you, I want to say, which is not right. Like I don't feel like this person should be, these people I should say should be like that. It almost makes me feel like it's one of your closer friends though. like somebody that's in your near circle that like likes to talk about you, but like I said, they're not doing as well in life, so the way that they speak about you can sometimes reflect this envy and jealousy. Yeah, we have dragon, beware of self-delusion. So exactly, there's this like vagueness to this person's energy that is like, and then we have wealth. Yeah, so financially, I feel like in career, you're doing much better than this person. That's another thing that they speak on, because they are kind of feeding their own delusions, their self-delusions. They think, hard work doesn't equal success. Like they're very much like thinking people just get lucky kind of vibes. And I feel like this person sees you as like everything and having so many great opportunities for you to work with, but maybe just some not, there's certain things you're not really that interested in, and they could find offense to that. Maybe because either they're interested in it and they're like insecure about that desire, or like you could be inspiring this person. There's something here though, like I said, where there's like choice words that have been said that are very telling to like maybe that this person feels like being left behind in the dust by you. And maybe, like I said, career and social status might have something to do with that, really. But I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like there is some movement that's being had by you that is being talked about by other people's, mainly. Like, whether it is just success and success over and over again, or maybe you are running into a few random disappointments and things not working out, and like that is a big thing, but like maybe you're still getting your bag either way. Like there's a lot of different ways that this can show up for each person, but I just feel like this group one people are being talked about in this regard of like, yeah, look at them move around, like like I wonder why they're doing that. I wonder what their intentions is, like whatever. So let me pull a few messages to end this out for you guys. I'm only gonna do 3. I find that the more messages you do, the more it can get like a little too complicated, where it's like, whoa, too many people are coming in. Fully intend to make it happen. So yeah, like people are seeing you as driven and like wanting to stand by what it is that you like want to go after and whatnot, like very fulfilled almost. We do have new boyfriend or girlfriend's ex. I always interpret this a couple different ways, like whether it is like literally like your new boyfriend or girlfriend's ex, or if it's like your boyfriend or girlfriend's ex, or if you're somebody's ex. That's also another way that I take that. Those could be people that are saying things here. Yeah, there's someone here that is like trying to talk poorly about you, but it's because they are like intimidated by you. Like, and they're intimidated by the fact that like you are successful and you do have this sternness to you that I feel like this person lacks. And then we have in a relationship. So people are talking about your relationship status, I will say, like I was saying with like the cutting people off and stuff like that. Maybe there are like situationships or people that you've recently broke up with or something like that, where that is being affected in this talk. That could go back to what I was saying about people like revisiting like who's she hanging out with, what is she doing, like where are they going, kind of thing. Like they're very inquisitive about your new lifestyle, but they don't have that much access to it other than seeing like a lot of your wins, and then you cutting people off. Like that's all really they're perceiving right now. So that's kind of what they can talk about, but it's like how negatively can you really talk about someone like that? You know what I mean? However, like I said with the fair woman thing, I feel like this person might be unfair in their judgments and make self-deluded comments about you that like spirit isn't even really putting them out there to me that much to you, because it's really just telling you to kind of focus on what you're doing because you're doing it correctly, whereas people are misunderstanding that, and any more of their kind of like jargon being added to the mix really isn't going to help anybody. So that's why it's kind of like keeping it where it's at right now, where it's like inklings of what they have been saying but not exact phrases, because I feel like this person is kind of just like making shit up. Like there's not like a repetitive thing that they're able to say, because it's like maybe depending on the group of people that they're trying to talk to, they can't say those things because people know it's wrong. Like maybe this person's trying to call you broke to somebody that knows that you got your bag. You know what I mean? Like they look dumb at that point. So like this makes me feel like this person can be unfair with their words and, have said some unfair words about you and to you. So yeah, that being said though, my group 1, I hope this message helped you guys and gave you some clarity. If you'd like additional messages, check out my other readings, or you can book a reading with me, link down below. Otherwise, I'm going to skedaddle and I will see you in a later video. Peace. Hey group 2, let's get started with your tarot pick a card reading today, all about what is being said behind your back. So as always, we have our little oracle cards to give us a frame of reference with specific intentions behind them, and then we'll dive more into it. But starting us off, we have Angel. It says helping those in need of return, or helping those in need with no expectation of return. And then we have acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. That is the archetype that you're coming out in. We have Chiron energy for the energy that is being kind of spoken about right now. And then we have communicate as what's really going on. Why are they talking about it? So let's see what the vibes are. Right away with Angel coming out, I did flip it in reverse, which shows the shadow attributes being more highlighted, which is the acting innocent or angelic to mislead others. And I think that's interesting because we also have Chiron coming out with healings and communicate. So I feel like people are talking about how maybe you are trying to help in situations or acting like you're willing to take off the burden of a situation, maybe while you're still in pain, is what I want to say. Like, I feel like with Chiron, because it is that dual-sided, like, wounded healer, there could be a big part of you that is in that wounded healer energy, and that's what people are kind of talking about. Like, maybe in the fact that you are, like it says here, compromise, forgive, work it out. Like, you're trying your best to really be above things and try to keep your head above water and not be too emotional about things. Yet sometimes I feel like you might spread yourself too thin with Angel here and give yourself, and I want to say maybe not give yourself enough grace. And I feel like a lot of people may be making commentary even to you saying like you need to like care for yourself and take care of yourself, because that might be a big thing that people are noticing. Like, they need to slow down a little bit. They need to take care of themselves. They need to focus on healing themselves and cleansing their energy a little bit. Maybe you are really go, go, go. Like I said, spreading yourself too thin or doing too much or over, like doing for others. Like, there's something here where maybe, you know, you're not as equal and balanced on the inside as maybe you could be if you were to be more self-focused, I want to say. Because with communicate coming out, maybe you do really, like, you're one of those people that has to kind of yap it out and like vent and whatnot. And like, people could be worried about you because maybe they hear that a decent amount. And not to shade you or anything, but like, there is this degree of like maybe over complaining or saying a lot of things that are like kind of down on your luck. But you're just like, I don't know what I could be doing wrong. And it's like, sometimes what you're doing wrong is thinking you're not doing anything wrong and thinking that you're not the center of your universe, and the fact that like, if things aren't working out accordingly, you might be pouring into the wrong areas. Like, that's something that I feel like people notice. Now, like I said, I feel like these people are almost more likely to communicate it to you because they're not looking at you as someone that's not like a good person. Like with Angel coming out, they see you as a good person, but they almost feel like you are overextending yourself at times in order to like charm people or grace them with some sort of relief from their wounds and whatnot. And like, that's not a bad thing at all, once again, but it's like people get wary that like you're overextending yourself. Let me pull some more cards because that's a pretty straightforward first part of it, at least. We have Death. 5 of Wands. That's where I was saying like the overworking, and maybe this is emotional overwork just as much as it is like physically or mentally. Like, you might find yourself really in the thick of a lot of chaos, and instead of turning down an opportunity to help somebody, you're accepting it. You're adding to your plate, and it's frustrating to you because I feel like you want to be seen as somebody that is stable and ready to help and whatnot, and that's why you do it. But like, I feel like people are seeing it as like, you know, she's barely hanging on by a thread and she's doing it. I hope it goes well kind of thing. Like, I don't know. There's something with that. We have the 2 of well, we have the Five of Wands and then the Two of Cups here. This is interesting because it shows that fight for calmness and balance, like I was saying. Like, you're really, people are perceiving you as someone who is trying your absolute darnest to calm any kind of chaos that is surrounding you. And, you know, maybe you are, like I said, overextending yourself by being sort of the person that, you know, in a lot of ways, maybe you're the one venting, but maybe people vent a lot to you is what I'm seeing. Like, there's a lot of people putting their stresses on you. And you know, I feel like they're really thankful for that. I feel like people are really thankful that they have somebody that they can kind of trauma dump with. You know, I feel like there's a lot of people in your life that share that kind of like energy of like needing to vent it out. And, you know, but the valence is like sometimes if you aren't taking time for yourself, you do overpour on other people. And sometimes that overpouring could be your own wounds. And like, that's what I think you try to steer clear of, but like don't always have the easiest time doing so, because you do get very focused on what kind of positive feeling you get from helping other people and being a part of, you know, their healing and stuff. Like, you are a very involved person, so it can be really hard for you to like get involved with yourself internally sometimes. So we have the Sun, and then we have the King of Swords. So I feel like you are being talked about as someone that brings a lot of peace and clarity to people. You know, like, despite when you're going through a bad day, like, obviously that happens from time to time. And like I said, people do notice that and will speak on it. Like I said, though, more likely to you when you're like that, versus behind your back, it does seem to have a lot more of like a, yeah, this person really helps me with a lot. Like, this person, when I'm going through a really chaotic time, they stand up and they get things in order and they don't lose, you know, their steam. They don't get too overdone. And like, that's where, like I said, the contrast, because these people worry about you overextending yourself, because you do overextend yourself to them a lot, and everybody knows that. But like, you are also being praised for that same quality of overextension, honestly. Not like overextension, but like meeting needs of other people. And a lot of that is communicating directly. You know, if someone's in a very emotional state, sometimes they don't know how to ask for what they need or want. So I feel like you're really good at reading that and understanding a resolution and bringing clarity to people when they are in that conflicted zone. And so a lot of people, I feel like, do speak on that of like, you know, they keep their calm, they keep their shit together, they keep their peace. Yeah, they have a ton on their plate, emphasis on a ton on their plate, but they still keep it moving, and they still make time to talk to us and make other people feel important as well, which is not always the case for people in this energy. That acting like angelic to mislead others is interesting to me, because I do feel like there are some people that feel like maybe there is more chaos behind the scenes that you don't say to them, and then you front in a very positive light. But I feel like that is more your inner turmoil that's happening, that like is really more of like, I don't know, you take responsibility for that too. So like, I feel like these people might expect that you are falsely like misleading them with your positive happiness, balance, energy. But really, I feel like that is a big part of your healing, and why you choose to do that is because that is healing to you. That does fix things for you in your mind. So let's pull some more cards. We have Teapot, deep friendship with someone of the same sex. We have Not, unsuccessful plans. We have Beetle, good fortune. Vulture, depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. Then we have Goldfish, increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. This is very interesting because, like I said, like, it feels like the people that are speaking behind your back are people that are your friends. They will say it to your face and they will tell you that. Maybe, like I said, behind closed doors, they're like, God, like, they've been really going through it right now. I feel like these people, because they're your friends, they know about a lot of your unsuccessful plans, and they know about your depression and anxiety and maybe worry that someone is against you. Like, they're aware of that. That is tea that's been spilt to them. So yeah, they might communicate about that behind your back, but it also seems like they see you as persevering and finding solutions, that even in your like darkest spots, like, you still come out and figure it out, essentially. And I feel like that is one thing that, you know, like, these people are aware of you on all your facets, but not in a negative sense of the word, of like, you know, and like pile one, there was a little bit more of a drag down with their perception, but this is a push up where it's seeing you as like, yeah, you struggle with things. Yeah, you have a hard time sometimes. And like, I feel like when you get into conflict with people, like it really wears you down and like it makes you really tense and you get really suspicious and have a hard time accepting the fact that like you're in that kind of like mentality more than it is like what the actual circumstances. Like, I don't know, there's just, you keep kind of your guard up with certain things, and like that tenseness, people are realizing is like alleviated through communicating, and like maybe that's one thing you've done for them that they're now doing for you. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like they're learning a lot about you through this, and maybe saying that like, wow, I'm kind of like learning that this person like does have a lot of like struggles and whatnot, but like even though like they still keep going, and that's a big plus, I think, in this person's eyes. So we're gonna end it out with some messages to see what is happening. So we have man-eater. Yeah, and that's again with the falsely like, or the misleading and like false pretenses kind of vibe here. I feel like that is very man-eater energy, where it's like, oh, this person like really fits what I want, but like they also have their own motives and their own things. So like people get suspicious just because it's like, you're so perfect, question mark. Like what's the vibe? So we have, they have moved on from you emotionally. And we have, they are obsessed. This is interesting. I feel like whatever, like whoever's talking about you, I feel like they are in this space where they see, like I said, like you trying to move on from things emotionally that have like frustrated you, or the things that you used to be obsessed with that were really dogging you down. Like that is definitely a big part of your personality that these people are noticing, and like maybe like, oh, she's bringing up this again, like, oh, she's dealing with this again. Like maybe you're that person that like no shade, but like maybe you're that person that like is always dating the shitty dude and like always has a long crazy story every single time you see your friends about like all the horrible things that they did. And it's like, you know, that is falsely misleading yourself and others, because you're like settling for that. Essentially you're settling for mistreatment and then complaining about it. You know, I think you might have had that cycle where you were like that and you were really kind of eating people up, you know, eating the men up or eating the women up or whatever, and like just kind of going through people and stuff. And like it got to a point where I think your heart started hurting, and now you're trying to heal that. And so now people are recognizing like you have really come a long way. Like you were in a space where you were not okay mentally, like you were really obsessed and really connected to, you know, these things that weren't working out. And like, you know, these people see that you have committed yourself to failures before, and things that were not, people I should say, that were not for your best interest and didn't make you feel good. And so you coming out of that energy, like they're talking about that and being like, wow, like this person's actually like, you know, while they might spread themselves thin by whatever, like they still are like finding a way through that. And like you never stop, I feel like, in these people's eyes. You're always trying to uncover the next thing, and that is very enticing, I will say. So yeah, group 2, I hope this message resonated for you guys, and if it did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel for more intuitively channeled messages like this. If you want to book a reading with me, check out the link below as always. Otherwise, check out my other videos. But yeah, I'm gonna skedaddle. I'll see you later. Peace. Hey group 3, let's get started with your tarot pick a card reading today, all about what is being said behind your back. So as always, we have our oracle cards to give a frame of reference, and then we'll dive in more with tarot. First and foremost, your archetype is God, benevolent and compassionate, recognizing the eternal force within you and others. And then we also have despotism, I can't say that word right there, and cruelty, using power to control people. And then we have Capricorn, and we have date night. Okay, so with you coming out as God, it did come out reverse. So there is this degree of control that is coming through with Capricorn as well. And then like the shadow attributes of this card. So like, I feel like people are seeing you as being, maybe you are an authority figure in your life right now. Maybe you are somebody that is very much like, I was just going to say needing to be wined and dined. And it's funny that I yawned during that because I feel like you could be really tired, really overworked, really like, just, I don't know, like you could be someone that really like runs your own life, I want to say, and like really tries your best to like figure out what it is that like is needed to be done. And like in as broad as the sense as it might sound. And like, it's interesting too with date night here because that is also showing this discipline. But two more romantic things. We have get ready to be wined and dined, which is funny. Oh, maybe that's why I was thinking that. That's funny. I didn't even like read that part of the card yet. But yeah, I don't know. There's just like, there is this part of you that is like people are saying like, man, they should let their hair down. Like they should like relax a little bit. Like they should go on a vacation or they should whatever. And alternatively, I will feel like maybe there are people commenting on your dating life. Maybe people that want to have more answers on your dating life. Maybe you don't really have answers about what's happening in that arena of your life. But with date night coming out, like there is something with your dating life that is sort of affecting what people are saying behind your back. I would say it is maybe this sternness, like maybe people don't know what you're trying to accomplish. But with God being your archetype, even in the lighter attribute and everything, like there is this degree of like all-knowingness, and I already know. So I feel like you have understanding that other people don't have about maybe what your plans are, where things are going. So that could be a topic of conversation. Yes, we have the 10 of coins here. So the 10 of coins is interesting to me in this context because, again, it's speaking on control and stability and, like, kind of having a sort of life force surrounding this, like, dream or whatever that you have about building a family, building a career, building your life. And I feel like people are talking about that as, like, wow, this is kind of, like, sort of happening. Although, like I said, there is this control aspect where it's, like, this person is very much, like, a go-getter, like, they should take a break kind of thing. It's like also seeing the success right in front of their face. They're like a little, wait a second, you know, like, so it does make me feel too like this could be family that is speaking on you, that is speaking on like your maybe defiance to other principles other than the things that you think are right. You know, this could like family members, whether it's like maybe your partner's family members or your family members, there is a degree of like you kind of defying the natural, not the natural, like the moral or ethical way that like your family or their family like normally goes about things or something like that. There's something like defying here, I want to say. So we have the 2 of Swords as well. And this is kind of like defying logic and bringing intuition to the mix. So I feel like there is a part of you that is maybe taking your time with dating and relationships, and maybe in your relationship, like you are kind of going slow and just trying to, you know, sort of feed all of your goals at once. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like people, when they see it, they see closed offness more than they see where you're opening up to. So they have a lot of commentary on like, well, they're closed off to this and they're not doing that. But then we have the Knight of Wands here, which is like you being on the go all the time. You are doing something. It's like you are spending your time doing a lot of things. These people just don't maybe fully understand what your MO is and what you're trying to get out of doing those things. Maybe being with certain people. That is another thing here. With Capricorn coming out, like you could be, I want to say like an older, not an older person, but you could be older than the person you're dating, and maybe that is something that's causing like people talking. They could be like, why are you dating someone younger than you? Like they're clearly not there yet. Like what are you doing? Kind of like, you know, like projecting maybe their thoughts about or expectations, like that morality, that sort of thing, like just kind of projecting that onto you. Yeah, we have the Page of Pentacles here. So I feel like people are wondering what it is that you're investing into and what it is that like gets your interest. You know, this could also be a suitor that is interested in having some more time with you or like creating something here, but they're just kind of confused on what to say and like what you want specifically. Not because like it's not evident, I want to say, but like maybe because like there is so much going on, it's like they don't know. It's like, do I let them do their boss work or do I help them? Do I try to like steer them away from it? You know what I mean? Like they don't really know their position yet. And maybe, like I said, like that's kind of all the people that are viewing you right now. So the 10 of Wands for the last card here gives me the impression, like I said, that you are doing a lot that people don't see the weight of what you're carrying. And you're moving through life in that regard. So people just see you kind of like stressing out about stuff or being really focused and like okay with the things that you're stressed out about. And they're like confused almost like what the drive is. But like I feel like you have secret little drives, you know, you have certain things that you keep to yourself that are, you know, your kind of messages from God about why you should do things the way you do them. And, you know, you're going by your own book in that regard, because it, like I said, it could be unconventional or different than what people are expecting from you. But at the same time, you're trying to go above and beyond expectations. You're trying to live a even better life than what people could direct you in. Like you want to create something new for yourself and a new objective and a new basis to come from. And like this whole process for you has not been easy, especially when you have the peanut gallery's commentary of like, well, when are you going to get a boyfriend? Or when are you going to get married? When are you having babies? When are you going to do, like, that is like the background chatter. Like people are asking like, when is she going to do this? When is he going to do that? Like, when are they, you know, or like if you're in an engagement situation, or if you're in a long-term relationship and they're like, well, when are you going to engage? Like that could be another thing here too. Like people just kind of that general chatter of, oh, what's next for them? Like, oh, what are they going to do? Like what direction they're taking. And it's like your direction is a little bit more like nuancedly defined. Like there's a lot more to it than what I think people are really recognizing or giving credit for. And that's why they're just kind of like asking about like, well, what's next? And it's like, just, I don't know. I sort of feel like you've created a baseline stability for yourself with the 10 of Pentacles here. So it's like, when is it going to be enough for these people? I don't know. That's just me stressing on my own, because I literally hate when people are like, what's your next step? When are you going to do it? Like, it's literally the most annoying chitter chatter. So I feel for you, and that's literally what's being said behind your back. Yeah, so we have, you feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. So yeah, like this is people saying, you know, from the outside looking in, like maybe you are really career driven right now. And you just don't have time for love, or you just don't have time to like press anybody for deeper commitments and stuff like that. Like you're on your grind. And it's like people are commenting, but like, what about the love? It's like, I'm drowning in money and work right now, brother. Like, I got no time for that. And I feel like that is like the commentary here where they're like misperceiving you, because they're like, oh, you're missing this. And it's like, I literally have everything. It's just like the way that I'm able to communicate it right now is not, it's not in fruition. And you're not stupid. You're not somebody that's like sitting here spouting about half opportunities. Like you're waiting for things to come to fruition. So like, yeah, we have Eagle, triumph over troubles and obstacles. Yeah, so like, I don't feel like people can really sit and dog you that much, because if anything, like you're a boss, you're a domineering bitch. Like you know, you run your show. So like, it's really hard for people to really talk negatively about you behind your back. That's why they pick like the one little area that has a hole in it in that moment, in their perception, mind you. It's not even like it actually has a hole in it. Yeah, we have eyes, psychic ability, trust your intuition. So these people are trying to peer in and understand and see you. I always think with the eyes as like people that are trying to get in touch with their psychic abilities. And sometimes they do that in weird ways, like sending evil eyes and whatnot. So, you know, this card isn't necessarily an evil eye card to me, but it is the card of like peering in, trying to understand, you know, what you got going on. We have broken rings. So parting of ways, either romance or business. Yeah, so I think it's like I said, like if things are going really well in like your family right now, they're gonna like, when are you getting a job? Or if things are going really well in your job, they're like, when are you getting like a romance? And like people are like almost seeing it as like you're never gonna have it all, like you only can have one. And which is weird, because that's not how that's not where you're coming from. Then we have family matters. Like I said, this is most likely family members of the people either that you're dating or that you in your family. But these people just seem to have a really like doubtful mind, and I think it comes more from, like I said, maybe more of an envious view, or someone that isn't as in control of their own life and like maybe has a lot more weighed down responsibilities, you know. But at the end of the day, like these people are making comments on things that don't really involve them. So it's like, okay, cool, good to know. People being like, when are you having your baby, or when are you having a baby, or whatever. And it's like, unless you are choosing to raise this kid for me, I think you should shut up. Like, that's kind of my vibe that I feel like coming from y'all, and like, I get it. Okay, let's get some little messages to end out your reading, y'all. Oh my god, my stupid little thumb isn't working. We have long wait ahead, 6 months. So yeah, you're not budging any time. Like I said, you move on your own timeline and you're not trying to like pressurize yourself to meet other people's like requirements for timelines and stuff. We have they're lying. Yeah, so people, like, once again, people think you can't have it all. If you like, yeah, I went on a date with this person, even if you're a career woman, it's like, oh, but when are you going to get married? Like, again, it's pushing the next thing. And it's like people are assuming that you're lying about the developments in your life because it's not happening immediately. And it's like, you know that that's not correct. And yeah, we have that's anxiety, not intuition. Exactly. Like, these people are projecting like from an anxious mindset of needing control, and you summoning the forces of the universe, being a co-creator, doing your thing, you know, like you understand control and direction and weights differently, you know, a spiritual person does. That's point blank. If you don't understand those contracts, you are not as spiritual as you think you are, because everything happens in divine timing, number one. Things that make you anxious are not your intuition, number two. You don't have to be all things all the time to be lying when you say you're one thing when you're not currently in that energy. Like, there's just a lot of things that like I could say about these people that I'm like, no, stop it. So yeah, we're clearly channeling family energy for sure. So yeah, but that being said, in my group 3, fuck them. Live your life, girls, boy, whatever. Like, just do things on your own timeline, because you are following a higher timeline. You know that. You didn't need me to tell you that, but it's being said. So yeah, I hope this message resonated for you guys and gave you some clarity. And if it did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. And of course, subscribe to my channel for more intuitively channel messages like this. If you want to book a personal reading with me, as always, link down below. Otherwise, I'm going to skedaddle, and I will see you guys in a later video. Peace.